Everyone to the GOMTV July GSL Co-Day, the last day of the round 32. Up next, we have a very important match.
Jinro versus Love ShinyStar.
We do. ShinyStar hasn't really broken out into the GSL just yet.
Yep.
It did come through the qualifiers with an amazing run.
Yep. Actually
took out OGS, the STC, in his final qualifying round. And I'd like to talk about that for a second, because that round is the most stressful thing I've ever seen. Because they're one best of three away from making it. They've been playing 4 rounds in a row. From when I was at the Co-Day, you were there as well. Those things go for hours.
Yep. And
they are there all day. They play, I think, up to 12 games in total. And pretty much every game I saw was at least a 30-minute game. Every time.
The thing is that it is a 272-person tournament. Or I don't know the exact numbers, excuse me. But every single player that is Grandmaster or very close to Grandmaster on the Korean ladder, these are all pro gamers or very close to being pro gamers.
And there we have Jinro. Has good micro. One critical mistake cost him the game.
Yeah, he is a very solid player normally, but if he does get on tilt a little bit, that can force him into a downward spiral. And we have seen that a little bit lately. But I think he can come back here.
That's true of every player, though.
That is true, yeah.
Like, you have one mistake in a game, at this level, it will kill you. And it happens to everyone. It's just minimizing that. So
some players play perfect, and if you're not playing perfect against them, one tiny mistake, as you were saying, just lets them completely crush you.
I was actually discussing this with Chef earlier. One of the biggest differences he finds from the Koreans. Oh, actually, we'll go back to that. But there we are. We have Love ShinyStar. Very new.
This is first
not
time
revealed.
In a broadcasted game.
Exactly. So nerves will come into this.
Not only nerves, but what's really remarkable about this player is he has actually made it to the GSL stage without a team.
Yes.
I don't know if he practices with the Korean team, but he's not officially on one. And it's something that gets talked about a lot, is the Korean practice style and the way that they train is extremely helpful. It's very difficult to get that on your own. It's very difficult to get that outside of Korea right now, although that's slowly changing. A lot of foreign teams are starting to look at, what are the Koreans doing and how can we adopt that?
Yes.
Obviously, they're doing something right. Brood War, Korea started much before the foreign scene, so they were so far ahead to begin with that it was very difficult for the foreign team to come up. But in Starcraft 2, we started on even footing. And we're seeing some foreign players make it, like Jinro today, but a lot of the foreign players really just can't hold a candle to these Korean players, and it's really just the way they practice, not who they are.
You'll find a lot of the players who have been doing well over in Korea and in the tournaments are the ones who have actually practiced with the Korean schedule. And it really goes to show how important a good practice environment and commitment really is.
Yeah, Jinro did extremely well in MLG at the end of last year. He was a Code-S player for the beginning half of this year so far. Just recently got knocked down to Code-A, but I think he can make it back to Code-S after the season.
Absolutely. The only biggest hurdle for him right now will be getting past ShinyStar. This is the one round he cannot lose. You will drop down in a Kobe if he loses this one. No one wants that to happen. But ShinyStar is not going to make it easy for him. Not at all.
Not. Very strong Protoss player here. He has shown that his PVT is actually quite good. But maybe he has good PVT on the qualifier maps, which are always the same. Whereas coming into the actual matches here, we do see a little bit of map variety, and he does need to show a lot of different strategies.
The first map will be Terminus 3, followed by Metalopolis, and followed by Dual Site. Very even terms in regards to a TVT.
TVP.
Oh, sorry, TVP. I knew that.
TVT is even on this. We do have the first map being Terminus. It's the large map like we saw the past few times. It's going to be interesting to see how the game progresses. We usually have those very strong stages in Terran versus Protoss. You start out with the early aggression from the Protoss, because the Protoss has those fast units, until Terran can get that stim up and be able to chase you with the Bio Army. But then once you get the counter to the Bio Army, which is either the Colossi or the High Templar with the Storm, it really forces the Terran to stay back in his base until he can get those counters.
That is the difficult point for Terran, trying to get the right unit mix to counter that. It looks like we're going to go in a game any second. Maybe.
Maybe in a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Alrighty, over here in the 9 o'clock position we have our Teal Terran, hailing all the way from Sweden, been here in Korea for at least 9 months now, I believe it is, from Team Liquid. I'm sure a lot of them are watching. It is...
Liquid Jinro.
If anyone's wondering, that is a bottle of soju.
Yep, Jinro is a brand of soju.
Yes.
I don't know how they rank up. But what he was doing there was shaking it, because if you shake soju, you can actually get a little tornado going on, and it helps to aerate the drink and make it a lot lighter taste.
And down here at the 6 o'clock, we have our...
Love, ShinyStar.
No, that one's a little difficult to try and figure out a couple of seconds ago.
I get the love part.
Yeah.
Shiny, shaky, same thing.
Alrighty, so let's get into this. We do have the closer positions on this map.
Yes, close air position, so Jinro, if he does go for early Banshees, can do a lot of damage to Love ShinyStar.
We'll also help him out with some drop play later on in the game if he decides to use it.
And in some recent games in the GSTL, we saw that drops from the Terran against the Protoss can do a ton of damage if you can take out some key tech or just do a lot of economic damage to them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've also seen a lot of DTs be used in PvT recently. At least I've seen a lot of it in the last week or so since being here.
Well, DTs are an interesting unit. Like, in the beta, they were used almost, all right, I'm going to rush to this unit, use it, and if it fails, I lose. If it succeeds, I win. But we're seeing now is the unit's actually getting figured out a lot more. Yep. And that's allowing the Protoss players to use it in the correct way, where you're not trying to win the game with it. You're just trying to get a little bit of harassment damage, get some scouting in, force the Terran player to build some buildings that he doesn't necessarily want to make. Yeah, it's being used as a completely harassed unit now. Yeah. I have to give a shout out to Optic Zero, who is actually extremely good at frustrating a lot of Terran players with them. Especially QXC.
Especially QXC. But yeah, they use it more to harass. They try and keep them alive as long as possible, rather than going to kill as much as they can. Yeah. And it really just puts the mindset of the Terran off base. We do actually see here a 1-Rax expand coming out from Jinro.
And if he can defend against any sort of early Stalker play, this is going to be really good for him.
Keep in mind that he is actually on... Well, he's in the same house as the STC. Yep. So STC has finished his military, I believe. He's now back in the OGS house, so they're going to be talking a lot about this guy. STC played him in 3 maps. I believe it was a 2-1 loss for the STC in the Code A qualifiers, so he's got a lot of information on him. The fact that he does the majority of Love ShinyStar's practice will come from ladder. They can really figure out what's going on. And so that will give him a good advantage. We do see that Stalker.
Yeah, a lot of these Korean teams do act almost like families for these players. When you hurt someone else in your or when someone hurts someone in your family, you just want to get revenge on them. And that's what Jinro's really going to try to do here today. So that very early bunker going down does not want to fall to any early pressure. He only has 3 Marines there. This Stalker coming forward. I like the Stalker early pressure because he can't really deal with it if he can focus down anything he can. He's getting quite a few hits off on these Marines. He can just back off for a little bit, wait for the shields to recharge, come back. But the thing is that he can't come back once that bunker finishes, because inside the bunker, the Marines do actually get 1 extra range and are equal, but they're just sitting outside of it right now. There we go. Didn't get a shot of that. I was about to say, he left the one with the least health out there, but he's actually changed around. Good work by Jinro there. And looks like we do have an expansion going up here for ShinyStar as well. ShinyStar here is just trying to keep Jinro occupied, making sure that he continues to bring in defensive units instead of trying to ramp up his economy too much or get any sort of higher tech units. He's also trying to look to see exactly when that command center does transition over. Scan going down to see if ShinyStar is expanding. It's really nice to scan that ramp because you see if they're defending on the top of the ramp or the bottom of the ramp. If they're on the bottom, most likely they're posturing to get an expansion up, like ShinyStar is here today. Yeah, that scan actually also caught the corner of that Nexus as well. He knows the timing of it as well. And it looks like ShinyStar going straight for that 3rd gas. That's very good for him to get this gas early on. He is going to need to get those Colossi or High Templar like we were talking about before to counteract the bio army of Jinro. And those units require a ton of gas. Yeah, it's very delicate timing as to how long your gateway units can stand up to the Marine Marauder ball coming in from Terrans. At the same time, looks like Jinro is going down here scouting for any proxy pylons with his Marine. Wants to also get vision on these rocks in case ShinyStar does decide to come down from the bottom there. He will completely bypass that bunker, go straight into the mineral line if he wants to. But I really like this Stalker. He's always there. Always there. A little bit dangerous, though, because once this concussive shell does finish for Jinro, he can push out with even a single Marauder and take out the Stalker, even though the Stalker is naturally very, very quick. Yeah, we do have these 3 gateways, actually all being Chrono Boosted right now. Our forward pylon going down. There's a lot of sentries here, and if you can get the right force fields down, he's going to do a lot of damage to Jinro. He does have Stim almost done. He's actually already got concussive shells as well. He's got a very quick Ghost Academy too. Yeah, if he can get out even a single ghost here, he can EMP all of those sentries, and once those sentries are out of energy, they're almost useless in a fight.
I don't think he's going to have time for that, though, as we do see a round of warp-ins coming in here from ShinyStar. He might wait for one more round just because he needs more Zealots to be the meat there of this army. He is actually 11 supply up. Looks like he's going to go for it. There is only one bunker here. ShinyStar getting his units in the right position, doesn't want Stalkers at the front. Here we go. ShinyStar coming in. There goes the Guardian Shield. Force fields down around. He needs one more right behind that bunker.
Very nice force fields. He is forcing all those SCVs to stay in the back of the fight. They can't do anything right now. They can't repair the bunker. It does go down. A lot of these bio units are going to die. However, it's not going to be able to kill Jinro quite yet, but it is going to get
out of energy. He needs to back off. There's no force fields left in for him at all. He's got maybe one. Good choice by Jinro to back off. Doesn't want to lose as much as he really needs to. He's got ghosts out now. They aren't going to have enough energy for a little while longer, but he just needs to buy time. And here we go. We got another. Was that a bunker as well? I believe so.
It was trying to be a bunker, yes.
Needs to be careful not to get force fielded up into his main here with these ghosts.
Very nice force field. He is going to force the reinforcements of Jinro to stay back. He's not trying to go for the kill right now, but he is just going to try to do as much damage as he can. ShinyStar is on 76 supply compared to Jinro's 63, so he's doing exactly what he needs, but he's not positioned to make the kill quite yet. He is getting the robotics facility to be able to get out an observer.
We do have EMPs now here for Jinro. He's got two of them. Needs to be careful. He really wants to get that sentry ball. ShinyStar does have them all clumped up. That works really well here for Jinro. Jinro spreading out all his units. It looks like ShinyStar's going to give up. He feels like he can't do any more damage here.
And ShinyStar not exactly sure what he wants to go with. He did start Blink, but he did cancel it in exchange for the Zealot charge. Once he gets charge on those Zealots, he is going to be able to get his units closing into the Bioforce very, very quickly. And if you put the force fields behind the Bio Army, they can't run away at all. So those Zealots can do a ton of damage very, very quickly.
Yeah, we do see this Observer catching. Oh, nice scan by Jinro. He has an eagle eye for that. I think as soon as that came into his screen, he's like, yep, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. And it's been talked about a lot in previous games, but taking
we actually sees the warping in Zealots. There are going to be 3 Zealots here, as well as a pylon for Jinro. Good start by him.
Very nice maneuver there.
So we do have that leg speed about halfway done now. He's also getting +1 armor. He's got that robotics facility. I believe he got 2 observers. I believe, anyway. Yes, he does have another one on the field. It's over here. And let's see if Jinro can have another eagle eye. Not just yet. He does have 2 of those ghosts. They're actually getting quite a bit of energy there. So soon they will have 2 EMPs apiece. And here we go. We have ShinyStar splitting up all his sentries. Great work by him there. A scan going down, sees exactly what's going on. Jinro probably doesn't have the best army to deal with this, especially since they're backed up. But here we go. He has got an EMP1. He's got 3 more. And oh, they've all clumped up. Nice force field here by ShinyStar, but Jinro has also EMP'd all these sentries. The first part of the Marine Marauder ball here for Jinro has backed off, and there's too many Zealots in the mix there.
Too many Zealots, but that was really nice timing by Jinro. He wasn't aware of this, but he actually went in right before Zealot charge finished.
Yep.
It is done now, so he does need to back off, but it did give him the ability to know exactly what the army composition of ShinyStar is. He knows those robotics facility units aren't in the mix quite yet, just the observers out. A robotics facility going up, so the next time they fight, it might be a little bit more one-sided towards ShinyStar. But Jinro doing exactly what he needs to stay even in this game.
Yeah, he's getting his third, but we do have a Warp Prism down here now. It is in its phase mode. Warping in 2 Zealots, going to try and get this expansion out. It does finish just in time, though. Right, so close for ShinyStar, but Jinro will be able to come in and clean this up. But now he knows that there's a Warp Prism. He's going to go down here, see no pylons go, hang on. What's going on?
But also, Love ShinyStar knows the exact timing of Jinro's third. He is going to be able to split the attention of Jinro, and then using this Warp Prism, he's going to be able to dart in wherever he wants and just warp in whatever unit he needs in that specific situation. Jinro being very safe, he's throwing down these turrets to defend against any sort of DTs that might be coming, also to defend against the Colossi later on. But this turret is going to be delayed and actually taken out. Trade of a Zealot for an SCV and a turret is a really good maneuver. And a great thing about these Warp Prisms that gets overlooked is you can warp in the units, do some damage, and pick them up and run away.
Yeah, we do have... Where is that starport? I'm just trying to find it. It does have the reactor on that starport. We wouldn't be surprised to see Jinro move into some more Viking production. So having a look at his vision here, he still hasn't scouted anything in the main for ShinyStar. Of course, we know that Extended Thermal Lance is coming with Colossus, about to jump onto the field. He also has... this third up and running here for ShinyStar. Jinro has only just started his third, doesn't have that 5th gas just yet.
Really nice play by both of these players here. They're not being over-aggressive, but they're also not being overly defensive. They're making sure that they force their opponent to guard in certain locations, but they're not over-committing.
Just looking here, we did see 2 dropships be filled up here for Jinro, and I've just had a quick look over here at the base for ShinyStar. He's already got about 5 to 6 Stalkers prepared for any kind of drops. And he also has that Zealot at the Watchtower as well to see when it comes. Looks like Jinro here. Where are those dropships? There they are. Looks like he's going to try and come in from both angles.
Yeah, and this is really nice play by Jinro. He might actually be able to go take down the rocks by the third of ShinyStar. Yep. And if he can force the main army of ShinyStar away from his main, that's when he can bring in those drops.
Yeah, we do have another starport in production here for Jinro as well. The Twilight Council Templar Archives is about to finish as well. Jinro just needs to be very careful. Oh, all these stalkers have been moved from the back. Where did those dropships go? There they are. They're hiding from me even on this screen.
But we do have a Warp Prism going in. Gets scouted by the factory.
Oh, Jinro might actually get it if those Marines can live long enough. Oh, so close. He still does have 4 Marauders there. Very close for him there. He's got 2 Marines. He's trying to run that Marine. Oh, no. It gets taken out by the Zealots. Nicely done here by ShinyStar, focusing down. He's actually moving out at the front. Jinro's force has not... There we go. Jinro does see it. He's got about 4 EMPs in the mix, blinking forward, trying to focus down these ghosts here. He is doing a nice job, gets one of the ghosts at the same time. He has cleared out all these units from his third. There's one last Zealot left. There's Vikings on the way.
Jinro getting triggered to do that drop.
Oh, the EMP went out on almost all the sentries.
Right now in the main, doing a little bit of damage, but it is going to get cleaned up quite nicely by ShinyStar in a little bit, but not after doing a ton of economic damage, maybe even being able to take down this robotics facility.
Yeah, we also got an EMP on almost all those sentries in the middle of the map. While we were looking at that drop, we do have ShinyStar moving forward here as well. Action all over the map at the moment. He cannot clear this unit force out from his main. Jinro getting the robotics facility as well. That is huge for Jinro. Now he just needs to back off, and he's going to have a huge lead. No more Colossus going to come out. He got both the robotics facility and the bay. They're going to be so delayed.
And ShinyStar, knowing he can't produce any more Colossi, he is being very safe with this other one, forcing his drops to run away. Both of them do get out with very low health, but just enough to be able to get home and get repaired, meet up with the rest of his army. Yep. That was really interesting. Jinro was positioning to have a drop go on at the same time as his main attack. But what happened was ShinyStar, I think he saw it or sensed it, and he went out with a drop himself, focusing Jinro's attention somewhere else. And then ShinyStar moved out with his army against Jinro's army. So it kind of turned the tide on Jinro for what his actual plan was.
Yep, but nice multitasking by Jinro enabled him to actually clear out the drop in his third counter drop, and it did amazing amount of damage.
Yeah, it looked like ShinyStar was going to come ahead in that battle, but Jinro really turned it around. And he is sitting on 192 supply compared to ShinyStar's 160.
And now, because he already has Ghost, it's actually playing so much into his favor right now. Because he is going to be able to deal with these Templar. Looking here, we do have that Storm is already researched. A lot of Protoss these days are also making a lot of Archons. There's 6 Templars in the mix here.
Not only are there 6 Templars, but there are 9 Vikings out here for Jinro, so he's going to be able to counter the
Well, he is 40 supply up. Now is the time to hit. I think Jinro knows that he's moving forward. All the Templars are at the front. He sees it with these Vikings.
And those Templars do not quite have enough energy for Storm yet.
He's going to go. There we go. The EMPs go down on almost all the high Templars. Actually, he did get all the Templars. Now is the time to go. Jinro stimming forward. He's going to catch the Templars on the back foot. They are not as fast as everything else. There is no many force fields here either. The Vikings going to work on all the Colossus. They are dropping. There is nothing that ShinyStar can do. GG.
Very nice maneuver by Jinro right there. He knew exactly the timing that he needed to go in. A beautiful EMP. And that EMP really won him the game won him the battle and won him the game.
And a sigh of relief there from Jinro as well.
Exactly
very tense game.
Exactly. As we were saying before, he hasn't been having the best of luck recently, but if he can win this battle win this series right now, I think it will give him the momentum to get back.
It's a big confidence boost. He's coming into this game very nervous. It's like one series away from being dropped into Code B, and when he was in Code S as well, just things not going the way he wanted to, and this is going to be a big fight for him.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if we see similar play in the next game. He did get out those ghosts early. Usually you get them after the Vikings, but by getting them out early, it really helped him to EMP a lot of that early sentry army. And by taking the sentries out of the equation, the Protoss player really can't be aggressive against your bio until he has a lot of Colossi or Storm, which ShinyStar didn't quite have at that time.
Yeah, and that drop that took out the robotics bay, the robotics facility, really helped him as well. And it set him up nicely for that final push that came through. While he did have the Templars, he didn't have time to actually do all that. The Vikings scouted them, and a great EMP got all of them, and that just really sealed the deal for Jinro. So nicely played. We are going to go into our next map on Metalopolis, which I think is going to be similar play style to the last one.
Similar play style, but depending on where you get your spawns, it does change the game a lot. If you have a close air spawn, you do get a lot of drop play going on. But actually, sometimes you get the drop play early on, but then both players overcompensate for the air and get the defenses up, and it prevents the drops later in the game. So it just changes the momentum of the game a little bit.
Yeah, but both players did react well to both dropping offensively and defending in the last game. Obviously knew that something like that could happen given this map set that's coming through, and both prepared very well. So we're going to go into Game 2. Let's see if Jinro can take it out.
Yeah, and we saw some nice Warp Prism play by Love ShinyStar.
Yes.
It hasn't been getting, the Warp Prism unit hasn't been getting a whole lot of play recently, but it does have a lot of potential. He didn't do a lot of damage with it, but just enough to really
keep
set him on a
Jinro
good foot.
thinking. And here we go.